You know, children who are this poor and who are this vulnerable need not only education, okay, put them in a school and expect for them to do great. No, they need a comprehensive program that supports them and their families. They need nutrition, and that is a tremendous incentive because then the parents don't send their kids to work the street because they're receiving proper food, proper nutrition in school. They prefer their kids to attend school. So we don't have any dropouts from our schools. In our schools, our kids, 85% of them are internally displaced kids. That means that their families have lost everything they had, and they had to, because of violence and because they were in the middle of the crossfire, and they were in extreme situations of violence and conflict, and they could have been very likely to abandon school. But in our case, they don't, because they receive proper nutrition and other programs that support them and their families as well.
Actually, Colombia has very individual problems. Civil war, you've got the huge inequal, you've got a drug business. I saw a BBC documentary where I saw you visiting the schools you founded, but actually in quite dangerous area like Choco, it's called Choco, right? Are you never afraid of something could happen there?
I think that you have to do what you have to do. You can't be thinking so much about so many variables and contingencies. You know, you have to just. I have a responsibility and I have a duty to children. And whatever I can do to help, I'm gonna do it. Plus, it makes me happy. You know, it gives me so much joy, and it injects so much enthusiasm into my life, you know, to see that you can actually change people's lives, you know, that you can change the fate of people. Because in Latin America, as in many developing countries around the world, Southeast Asia, Africa, and so many other countries, children who are born poor are destined to die poor. And that is not fair. It's not fair for any human being. We all must have access to opportunities and equal opportunities in life. And education is a birthright, not a luxury. And you know, whatever it's needed to be done, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna stop.
But actually, at this point, it's important to talk with the politicians as well. You met Barack Obama in February in the White House, right? So how was the meeting?
Well, I met with him at the Oval Office recently, and we discussed early childhood development strategies, because I know that this is an important part of his agenda and his administration, as it should be an important part of the political agendas for many other leaders around the globe and in Latin America. So we're working really hard to promote early childhood development, because it is very important to make sure that kids receive proper stimulation and nutrition and education since a very early age. Those first 6 years in a human being's life are the most determinant years of all, you know, because it's when the brain is forming and the learning abilities and the social skills, you know, the ability to relate to your environment and other people. So I know that Barack Obama sees education, early childhood development especially, as a strategy for global stability and peace. So this is a cause that is very close to my heart, and we had the opportunity to discuss it.
It's great to have the opportunity. Yeah. So, but you also met Alvaro Uribe, the president of Colombia as well. Actually, he has many supporters, but many opponents as well. So it's like every politician has. Don't you see the danger to be involved into politics
I'm glad I'm a singer.
Too deeply? Yeah. Better job, I guess. Not that heavy. But aren't you afraid to be involved into politics too deeply, with being in contact with so many politicians? Like Alvaro Uribe.
You know, I think that the definition of politics, if you look it up in the dictionary, is about being a part of the decisions that will determine the future of your nation, or of our nations in general. And I think that we should all have that commitment and that involvement and that responsibility. We should all be political. Now, if you offer me a political charge, I'd say no, thank you. Yeah. I'm very happy the way I am, but I think that we all have to be active, you know, and then the reason why I see our future in such an optimistic way is because I know that young people are very active today, and they want to take charge, and they want to engage in the decisions that will shape our world. And I'm just a part of this generation, and that, I'm doing my part of the job.
How do you combine those two words? You see all the poor people there and the children, and then there's this glamour part of being a Wetten on the show. Yeah. So how do you combine those words? Or is it easy to separate it? You have to, otherwise you would be sad all the time, right? Running around like being depressed because of all the sad people.
I try to use the spotlight that shines on me and move it and put it sometimes to issues that are more important than my own, and that's what I try to do. I try to use my voice for those who don't have a voice or who are not listened to often. And I think that it's part of what comes with my job as an artist, as a communicator. It would be a waste if I didn't take this opportunity, I think that this is part of my moral responsibility, my duty as a human being, as a citizen of the world, and as a woman who also grew up in the developing world and who knows what can change things and what cannot, But I know what can't. What could change things, and one of those things is education, and that's why I advocate for it.
I wish you all the best for that. But you're coming back to Germany as a musician on tour. When? I didn't find any information about that.
Well, because we haven't officially announced it yet, but we're gonna start our tour in America in September, and then from there we're gonna come to Europe, and we're gonna be in Germany. I'm very excited about that.
And I heard about one rumor that after the tour you're going to take a baby break, but that's just a rumor. I heard about that.
That's just a rumor. Let's leave it there.
Okay, we leave it there. Thank you so much. It was great meeting you again. Danke.
But hey, I might surprise you.
Ja?
Yeah.
Okay, vielleicht. Ich freue mich drauf.